This is the Finesse Media Podcast, Season 3.
Hey, what's going on, Doc?
Hey, what's up? What's up?
I'm doing good. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. How it sound to you?
It sounds fantastic. I can't see you, but I can definitely hear you.
Oh, you can't see me?
No, I can't see
Oh,
you.
hold on. Let me get hold on. Oh, okay. I'm tripping. You got me now?
What's going on? What's going on, man?
Not too much. You good?
Welcome to the Finesse Media Podcast, brother.
Yeah, man. Thank you for having me.
Man, it's good to have you on, man. I was just sitting back here. If you can check out my background here, man, I was checking out the trailer for Coming to America. I cannot wait.
Yeah. I appreciate that, man. I must have did my job with it there. The trailer got a great response, man. So I think I captured the essence of what the movie is with that.
Man, the people, the actress, the lead actress, I can't think of her name. But let me jump right into it, man, and jump right into the interview. I'm getting to what I know I want to talk to you about this upcoming movie. I had not heard about the film. Shout out to Alicia, who's your representative, man. She reached out to me and said, hey, this is a good, project and, a good brother behind it. So tell us a little about the project. Again, the name of the movie, Coming to Africa, right? Coming to Africa. But tell my listeners about this film and what they should expect about the film, because it is shot right in Africa as well.
Yeah, it is. And don't feel bad about the Coming to America slips. Everybody do it. The crew, everybody. It's hard not to. But that's a little bit of the point I wanted to get across. But the movie has been years in the making. It's something that I really wanted to make on the most basic level, the most fundamental level, just to show a whole different side of Africa than we grow up seeing over here. And I keep saying now it's cool that with some of the platforms, a lot of African filmmakers getting a chance to they work across, to the States and different places so they can tell their own stories. So this generation to see a little more, but we didn't have that. So when I learned certain things and knew life in Ghana through family and through people I dealt with, I said the most powerful way that I could get the point across, instead of just telling people, look, there's cities, there's this, there's that, we really can connect. Some of the things that I had read about, some of the things that I, heard other people say, was to put it in the form of a movie. So that was the basic fundamental thing I wanted to do, was just show city life, regular life in a side of Africa we had never seen.
Yeah, because looking at the trailer again, you see so many different beautiful architects and the buildings, and it just seems like a really great. I mean, obviously a good culture. It's a culture that I'm glad you were able to give us insight on. This movie, how long did it take you guys to wait? I think I read. Wait a minute, there's a couple things I wanted to mention to you. A whole crew of folks, but 5 people from America. That was the only people that you guys had brought over to do the work on, along with it seems like Africa cast, and partners. But it was just 5 of you all who traveled over there to do this film. And then also, how long did this film take?
My assistant director, Frank, director of photography, Ellis Fowler, my guy, and Power and Future, who my cousins. They the ones paved the way for this. They the ones started going to Ghana back in 2006. And my cousin Power, he would bring back videos and bring back pictures and email me things and show me certain things that were going on. So I got to say, they the ones who really laid the foundation and built the bridge to make it happen. So we went over there and we cast everyone else over there because it's a story that primarily takes place in Ghana. So there were only 2 actor spots for Americans, at least in the Ghanaian scene. So over there, they had auditions. PY, the producer, he led that up. They had the auditions when I got there. So everyone auditioned. We sat down, watched the footage when I got there. Great actors and actresses I had the ability to choose from. Some of the ones, Nanama McBrown, who you were talking about, the lead actress. David Tonto, who's in there. They were people who I was aware of previously that were on my wish list of people to try to get. I was fortunate enough to be able to get them.
No kidding. I seen her, man. She seems very down to earth. I looked at what I can see on the trailer of her style and talent. And you found her before you started this film. What made you choose her for this role?
Well, the first Ghanaian movie, I always tell people, around the time that I first started thinking about doing this movie, I was in film school, and there was a movie called Beyonce, the President's Daughter. And it was a Ghanaian movie, and it was this whole series, and I got a hold of it from a store over here. It wasn't too many people saw it over here, but it had a little cult following for people who saw it. You would catch it at a store or something. Okay. So that was my introduction to Ghanaian cinema, and some of the actors and the actresses in there I was aware of. So from there, I kind of followed the scene. You know, as I started thinking that one day I would do a movie over there, I would read the blogs, I would get a hold of whatever Ghanaian movies I could get. You know, some would be on YouTube, but a lot of them weren't in wide distribution, but I would get what I can. So in keeping up with the scene, she was on my wish list. You know, when I say over there, I can't really describe it, but she's the biggest star in Ghana, hands down. And I say that humbly, she would say it humbly. So to be able to get her, man, it was a big thing. And she blessed the project. Like you said, very down to earth and cool, the presence she brought to the set. And I mean, just over there, I mean, it's Conan O'Brien when he did the Conan Without Borders. Some people saw that. You know, he went over there and was on her show. But a few weeks after that is when we shot. So they were telling us the story. But when Conan O'Brien went there, he reached out to her. Like, can we get on her show?
Oh, wow.
His homework, he knows who to touch down with. So that's, you know, that's the type of person she is. And she brought that presence, man. So I was fortunate enough to be able to get her.
Sweet. And when can we expect this movie? Because the trailer is intense. And it's a good tease. It was 17 minutes in, and I was like, wait. Well, no, actually, I take it back. Not the trailer. I watched a 17-minute making, and I think I landed on day 3. Man, y'all was working your butts off. Your butts off. Everybody sing humble. The girl the actress you just spoke about, she was sitting there so humble and having makeup done. But when is this film set to release?
Man, you'll be able to see it in November. So we got some big things coming up I can't really speak on yet. But when you go to comingtoafricamovie.com, sign up, go in there and click the box. Social media is great. Follow us too, but tap in, leave those emails so we can get direct contact so you know the exact date. But all I'm gonna say right now is we're planning a nice rollout for November, and you would get it exactly. You know, COVID just made us really adjust the plan, you know, but I was determined to make sure that I wouldn't let it, you know, go by the wayside or fall off or hit the shelf. So yeah, everything happened in its proper time. Like, you can't stop what God got for you, like Absolutely. They say. And everything lined up as it was supposed to line up. So now I'm able to sit back and anticipate November, but a couple things I can't speak on too.
There you go.
Yeah, just stay tuned.
You gotta tease us then. Okay, well that means you gotta once it releases, man. Once it releases, man, I'll be pulling your coattail again to have you back on to actually talk about it and maybe have a Q&A. But certainly want to support that project and be surrounding it. But tell us, Anwar, about your background. So you're this producer of the Coming to Africa film, but tell us a bit about your background, because I understand you did some studies in Arkansas where I went to school at.
Well, the thing is, actually, I'm a professor in Arkansas, and I saw that you went to Pine Bluff. So shout out to Pine Bluff.
Yeah.
You know? So yeah, down the road in West Memphis, because I stay in Memphis now.
Okay.
So I teach there in West Memphis at the college. And I'm born and raised in Racine, Wisconsin.
Okay.
And I came to Memphis for college. I have family here. I got ready to go to college. I wanted to come to the South like a lot of us did.
Yeah.
We're the return migration children. So the ones who migrated north, our parents, a lot of us came back. So I fell in love with the South. I used to already come and visit anyway, you know, people here, everybody come to visit your family. But I came down here to go to college, and then I stayed. So I did that. My first degrees were in English. My original background was English. So I was teaching English in public schools, went back, got a master's in English, became an English professor. So English was my life. Writing was always my thing. More than anything, I didn't know exactly which thing that I wrote would, you know, take me wherever I wanted to go, but I was just happy with the journey and knowing I was blessed with the ability to write. I'm like, I'm gonna ride this whichever way it takes. So that took me from A Little It Is to the hip hop, to MCing, to, you know, independent record label, releasing several CDs, the soundtrack of my first movie. So as I transitioned into movies, I went to film school, I fell in love with it. And since I had that heart for writing, I said with the music, okay, I can put, you know, I can do songs when I feel like it. But I fell in love with the movies. I'm like, this is just another evolution of being able to tell stories and do those things. So that led me to film school. That led me to doing films. I released my first film in 2010.
Okay.
funeral arrangements. So this would be my fourth, 3 features and a documentary. And yeah, man, that's pretty much how I got to this point. There's a lot of a lot of twists and turns in between, man, but that's the overall background.
That's amazing, man. West Memphis, that is Arkansas. So
Yeah.
I saw that you were having ties there, and I'm like, oh man, we'll talk Arkansas. But
Yeah,
really,
I go across that bridge every day. You know?
But no, that's amazing, man. I can't wait for this film to come up. And so you're doing different things, and you said that before you had 4 other. Oh, this is your 4th project. So what made you choose? And I got to go back to the film, but what made you choose to do this film in Ghana? Had you traveled to Ghana before?
No, I hadn't. I give a lot of credit to Sister Soldier. I tell people she came to the University of Memphis in 2001 when I was first starting grad school, and she just gave a speech, and the thesis of her speech was returning to Africa. You know, if not physically, just breaking down some cultural things and values and stuff that if we could get back to this way of behaving, this is, be beneficial to us. She was talking about that. And she talked about how when she traveled to Africa, what her experience was. And it was funny. And she talked about how all of her friends were, when she said, oh, I'm going to Spain or I'm going to Italy. These places, everybody was like, oh, yeah, you're going to have a great time. Oh, yeah.
Story,
when she said going to Africa,
they
was
say,
like,
what you going for?
Are you all right? Are you sure? Right? You going to be okay? This whole thing. She walked us through, and she had a lot of humor in her experience, but she got her point across. And it let me know that I've talked about it. A lot of people throw that around. One day I'll go to Africa, but I can honestly say hearing her that one night made me take the idea a lot more seriously back in 2001. So like I said, as me being a writer, my thing is always to take experiences and turn them into the next script, the next book, the next idea. So
I'm not sure. We cut out and then
I had a classmate end up going, and that's how I decided Ghana. And then I just wanted to tell the story in a comedic form, though. I didn't want to do a documentary. I didn't want to do anything overly serious. I said, okay, let's do something that has a real message, is conscious, but I wanted to put it in a package where you can just watch it and enjoy it.
And as a producer, I know that when we watch, for me, stuff on TV, I'm just kind of watching it at face value. As a producer, man, I know that you're scrutinizing a lot of the things that we have on film. Netflix has stepped up and done a lot of exclusive films. What is your take on, or what are you watching? So what's on TV that you're watching that you like, yo, the production is just phenomenal?
Man, I'm suffering withdrawals from it, but I got to say Snowfall first.
Oh, my God, brother.
As far as television, hey, bro, I need that.
Yeah.
I'm mad at COVID for that one. Because Snowfall, man, I really love. I'm all about, again, I'm a writer first and foremost.
Rest
and
in
I
peace,
love
John
character
Singleton.
development. Rest in peace, John Singleton. Man, and that vision he had. But the thing about, he said that a lot in his interview. People were like, when your next movie gonna come out? When your next movie? And he was like, we doing movies on TV now. He said that the line is blurred now. They came closer and closer together. So every episode of Snowfall is a movie now, an hour movie or whatever. Or the great TV shows are mini movies. They're writing them like they're movies. They're filming them on location like movies, So that's one thing, man, is that stands out. I'm above and beyond because, I'm picky when it comes, certain TV shows out, if it's like a soap operas had a purpose, right? Certain things are shock value. People who watch soap operas watching for certain things. So it's different styles and categories, but I'm all about that character development and seeing somebody like that main character, Franklin, go from being the guy who could have been, like one episode,
he got tied into something.
He could have been the square. You wasn't really about that life, and to show him go from this to this in a realistic fashion at that pace, right? Like nothing melodramatic, over the top, soap opera. Like it was a real transformation where you could study this and say, okay, how could a black kid who's smart, who should have went to college, why would he make these choices and start selling drugs? You could look at that and say, I see how some people can go that way, when they could have went this way or that way. So that stands out to me more than anything right now.
And I guess the follow-up question to that, and it's probably maybe answered, but I don't know if you answered it. But each episode on Finesse Media Podcast, we talk to people that's finessing the game. So, brother, I thank you for joining the podcast because you're definitely somebody that's finessing the game. But with that being said, we always ask the finesser, who is finessing the game for you? Who is that person that you're like, yo, that person is finessing the game? And not that you model after this person, but someone that you truly respect and you say, hey, they're finessing the game. So who is your finesser?
Man, I hate to have to put the RIP in front of it, but it's Nip. I still got to say Nipsey Hussle, man. When that happened, you know, it's funny with the Nipsey Hussle thing. I had a lot of conversations with people because a lot of people were like, well, I hadn't heard of him like that. Where did this come? I don't really know him like that. I feel bad. I don't know him. I'm like, no, you shouldn't feel bad because he got it the way he was finessing the game, as you just said. And his plan was coming. I look back at the XXL freshman cover and the people he was on the cover with, I think J. Cole, Wiz Khalifa, maybe Freddie Gibbs. It was this whole class, and he had a major deal when all of them had a major deal. So to really take a step back at that age and say, y'all let me out this contract, I'm going to do it this way and really build independently. So I used to say he was the first rapper I really, really, really looked like Strategy and the $100 album and certain books and things marketed. And I was like, this is the first person younger than me. That's what I used to say. Not that nobody younger than you can't teach you, but usually I'm like, I look up to certain dudes. But I was like, wow. So if you go back, my very first movie, Indie Memphis Film Festival, I tell people 2010, and they had it was a section like, what's an independent artist or an album you think people should listen to? And I had that in there, the Marathon, the original one. So this is way before most people heard of him, way before anything. But a lot of his moves and his strategy and things like that, I really were like, he was sharp. And I really, you know, like you say, not necessarily pattern myself after, but it showed me the certain levels to get to. Okay, don't just do this. The way you had the Marathon and turn it into Victory Lap, and you had this plotted for years to do Victory Lap. And Victory Lap was supposed to be probably 5-6 years ago, but he had the discipline to be like, no, that's not the right deal. No, I'm not just going to put another album out there. But he had been talking Victory Lap, and he waited until he got it the way that it needed to be presented. And a lot of just things as far as that and the way he carried himself, I got to say him. And I got a chance to go to his store, man. I got a chance to meet his brother Sam before all of this. Like I actually, before the Marathon store, and I got the picture and all that, the week before the Marathon store actually opened, we're doing a grand reopening. I came in there, I just happened to be out there. I'm like, I gotta go by the Marathon store. There was boxes everywhere. Nothing was put up. His brother Sam was in there by himself, about to close the store at about 10-something. I went in there like, man, I left a copy of my book, Priceless Dream, Dallas Cowboy #1 fan. I wrote the biography of a wonderful woman, Miss Price. But I left the book finished. I did all this stuff. He's like, you're not going to be in LA next week? You need to come to the grand opening. I'm like, no, I'm just here. Man, I'm out of here. I got to go back home. That was the week before. So I saw the store. When it wasn't ready yet, I bought my shirt just laying on the counter somewhere. And they wasn't even set up yet. So he was somebody I was like, we gonna link up one day. We gonna do something. I'm gonna throw him in a movie. I used to say this stuff 5, 6, 7, 8 years ago for a lot of people who knew who he was. So yeah, that's the person who finessed the game for me the most.
Nipsey Hussle, man, definitely. We had Lunel on last season, and she talked about her relationship. In fact, it was the anniversary of Nipsey Hussle the day we interviewed him, and she talked about her connection, being a block away from Slauson and hearing the shots and just seeing everything fresh. But most respect and much respect to Nipsey Hussle, man. He coined that marathon continues, and I love that people are continuing that hashtag. So Nipsey Hussle, rest in peace, and definitely finesse the game wherever his spirit is resting. And I would say, man, to you, brother, continue to finesse the game. I can't wait for this new film to drop coming to Africa this upcoming November. The date is TBA, but I know you'll keep me posted. And for those that's able to watch, not able to watch, but for those that's watching us and for those that's listening to us, man, we got somebody that's finessing the game. Anwar, please let people know how they can keep up with you and follow you on all of your projects and even catch up, because I guess I'll stay busy with the other projects. Let us know how we can look at the other 3 films that you've done. Is that able to be seen online, YouTube? How can we watch the other projects?
That's still for purchase online. So the others, you can just search me Amazon, generally just funeral arrangements is my first film.
Okay.
My second film was called 5 Steps to a Conversation. My third film, I said this is the perfect time. I've had it up before, but I'm gonna put this up for free. So look for this soon. It's called A Bitter Pill to Swallow. This is a documentary I did. When I did this a few years back, I said then, it was up for sale and streaming, but I said, I don't care how much money I make. I had a lot of family members and people around me affected with the pill epidemic before people were talking about the pill epidemic in that way. And it's still not the same pill before people were saying opioid epidemic and all of this stuff. So man, that's a real thing. So people just need to see that anyway. And that's something, that's universal, but specifically to the Black community. When certain stuff hit us, it hit us harder because we already have other things we're dealing with. So, that's gasoline to the fire a lot of times. So yeah, I said I'm gonna put that back up. I need to just put that up online. I might put it on YouTube. It's already on Vimeo. You can go on Vimeo now, really, and see that. But I'll share the link. I need to put that back up on my website because that's a serious one. But other than that, social media at Anwar Jamison, Anwar Jamison, ANWAR, JAMISON. And yeah, you can look those projects up online. You can just Google them. It'll get you to them. Everything is for sale.
Everything's for sale.
But I like to emphasize right now, though, this is some levels up. So I'm proud. I can't wait for y'all to see Coming to Africa. I want y'all to see everything, but understand, I'm just happy. Like this is when they say it's levels. As long as you recognize what levels you're operating at, and you have your plan in your own mind, you don't have no illusions about where you stand. So I can comfortably say I stand on the foundation of doing this as an independent artist for 20 years. From the first time I released music. I released my first music as a teenager, my own independent label. See, I had a website with music on it in 1999, like really, as a teenager. I've been a content creator for a while.
Been finessing the game for years.
Yeah, so, but this one, this the crown jewel right now. This is one that I think is going to stand out and is going to propel me to a lot of other things and allow me to, to do a lot of other things and collaborate with people and help people because bottom line to me, if you could sum up what the journey I've been on, it was, I recognized early on I got this gift. God gave me this gift. This writing is going to get me into certain places. How can you use it to help your people? And I realized that from an early age, like whatever I'm doing, music, books, whatever, film, how you helping your people with it. So I'm proud, like this is one that I can stamp that. It's going to make an impact and allow us, to do some other things and push forward.
We're excited, man. Definitely here at Finesse Media. We're excited. We got your back. Once this episode airs, everyone can already see. We'll post it on our handler so they can follow you on your Twitter, Facebook, and your Instagram, and then also your website. And then I'll also be checking out some of the older projects or recent projects, previous projects, I should say, that you worked on to get caught up on your brand, brother. Again, thank you so much for joining the Finesse Media Podcast. As we say to people as we sign out, man, we ain't telling you get by. We telling you see you later, man, and continue to finesse the game. And we definitely love to have you back on in the future.
Man, most definitely. Thank you for having me this time. And thank you in advance for having me that time.
Definitely, man. So from Dallas, Texas, man, all the way from, where are you now? You say you're in Memphis, Tennessee, right?
Memphis, Tennessee.
Down there in Tennessee, man. I hate we missed Memphis in May this year. God damn.
Man. Oh, did you know they were honoring Ghana this year?
No, I didn't know.
Memphis in May, the host country was Ghana this year. They postponed it for the whole year, so they're going to do it next year. But Coming to Africa was going to be the closing night film. That was going to be the premiere. It was going to be the closing night film to the Memphis in May Festival because they were honoring Ghana. I'm like, what's the chances of them picking Ghana right when my movie ready? So that's crazy, but
y'all got time to do more with it and get ready for a bigger rollout or just a rollout for next year, right? Because are you a part of the project?
Well, yeah, so yeah, they postponed it. So I mean that, I'm sure I'll be around it. But as far as the festival and hosting Ghana, they're planning that for next May also. And since the movie is already out, it's to give me a platform, and my ties in Ghana even stronger. So who knows when we'll mess around and commemorate that event,
No, everything happened for a reason, I think. And so they postponed it to, I think I read, was it October?
That's what they initially wanted to do, but then they decided to just go ahead and do a full year postponement and make it in May again, 2021, but keep Ghana as the host country. So they're going to run it back next year. Hopefully everything will be, in a condition where they can do it.
Oh, I like that. My mom goes every year, man. And I'm from Chicago, Illinois. So,
see, Racine is an hour from
I
Chicago.
already know.
So you already.
We would have went down a different path in the top part of the interview had I mentioned it. But when you said Racine, I go, see, this is my cousin. We got ties in Arkansas and we got ties in the Midwest. So, yeah, you're right up the street, man. And Wisconsin, y'all got to get y'all stuff together. If you from Wisconsin listening in, get y'all stuff together because Kenosha was a whole fool with that travesty that happened. So, yeah, but from Chicago, Illinois, so I totally understand, the drive and the hustle, man. Midwest people always say we hustle harder than any other folks in the different regions, man.
Yeah, we got a unique culture to us. Everybody got their styles. Ours just hasn't been popularized as much in the movies and music as the Southwest to the East, but it's definitely a Midwest thing that we do, you know.
Well, we behind the scenes or we in front of the scenes. We doing our thing. So you probably getting Chicago flavor and not know it, or some influence by way of not even knowing, man. Because you're talented, and I always say you come from the Midwest. And you go into any other state, or same for you. I went to Arkansas in 2003, and when I got there, I was like, "Yo, this is pretty nice. I'm gonna come to Arkansas," and really kind of did my thing down there at the university. But more importantly, it was so many other people from the Midwest and from Chicago and Kansas that was really just finessing the campus at the time, man. So we got a flavor about ourselves for sure, man. So it's good to have that relationship and connection with you as well. I leave with that. And I'm definitely going to be supporting you all the way from Dallas, Texas, man.
All right. Appreciate you, man. Talk to you soon.
All right, man. Take it easy. If it's too easy, don't take it, brother.
All right, now.
All right, y'all. Y'all heard him, man. Right here on the Finesse Media Podcast on Season 3. We're back with more guests and people that's finessing the game. So we'll see you next week. Same time, same place with another episode of Finesse Media Podcast, Season 3.